Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the addendum to the last video where I talked about how expanded variations could affect the entire cast with just the moves that we have, because I didn't want to theorize too much on the new moves, just so that we could consider that for another video, and in order to consider things for the future, because we really don't know what they'll do. So that is where we get into more theoretical territory. Whereas the last video is working with more hard data. We have these moves, so how could they be split instead of just saying, well, maybe they'll give Scorpion this move instead of just looking like, oh wait, we have Demon Dash right here. Which, by the way, I talked about how this is a really good ender for combos, and I'll prove that to you real quick. And I'll just do what would be considered a normal combo, just with easy crushing blows, just to get it on, and show you what kind of damage you can get normally. So if we do this, normally you would do this, get 392, right? And that's what you would do if you were in Variation 2. But I missed the Amplify and I still almost matched it for damage. Okay, so that was slightly less damage, but it was still 379. Again, normally, you get 392. But what if we added that spear? Now we're getting about the same amount of damage, but we get a side switch as the opportunity instead. So that is something that we can consider. And we can even combine it with this string. So we do this, and then we can get that kind of damage. Let's do it with this. And there we go. Now, I realize I said that we could do it with the buff, but we actually can't do it with the buff, because the buff is a separate ability, and I actually don't have the variation slots to demonstrate that. But if you were to do this, you get 35%, and with the buff on, because the buff adds what was it, 33% more damage, we can get comparable damage if we just do this. I just want to see how much damage that adds, so that way we can compare. So let's see, let's jump in. So we're looking at about, I think it was about 10% more damage, from 267 to 352. Yeah, just under 10% more damage. So if this works, the theory goes that we can just do the stab and slam and get the comparable damage in the tournament variation, just as a proof of concept. And look at that, we get 39%. So that would be about the idea that we get, because if we do this string, we're getting 20%, but if we get this combo in, 21, 21, 43. So that is about 20, 40, 80. So it would approximately match the Demon Dash in terms of damage. Now with Frost, this is a little more experimental, because what I would be looking at, where's my Control Player 2 option? I think it's under Practice Options. There we go. So, yeah, there we go. So the idea would be to check out Core Trap and Core Overload together. Now there's two different things. Oh, excuse me. There's a few things to consider with Core Trap. You have close, you have mid, and then you have, if we do mid again, just to show you, and then we have far, which is really good range. Notice how they froze when they touch the barrier, but if they're inside of the ice wall, they don't take ice damage. Now, if we end up out of the corner, the trap is still up, but you would have to still take at least 20 damage to get out of this. So you would still potentially die if you were trapped in here. Especially if we do something like this. Go for a throw. Here, I'll even do this. Hang on. I have to, like, force the opponent to stay near the edge. There it is. And then look at that. That was 21% damage because I threw you with that. So I wonder... Yeah, it does. So it doesn't make the cage itself freeze or buff the freeze damage, but you can do something really interesting where you can set this up, then do this, and then it would go away if you did that, but because of how long it takes to set up, you can freeze them. And then look at that. You get the kind of crazy damage that you would expect out of setups like this. So that proves that concept. That's the Addendum. Don't forget to be awesome. I'll see you guys on the other side. Now we're going to talk about more theoretical move additions and such.